Chapter 4. When Worlds Collide. The morning sky was painted in shades of gold and crimson as King Cedric tightened his grip on the reins of his stallion. Valor! The powerful horse pawed at the ground beneath him, eager yet tense, while thousands of Felorian soldiers stood ready behind their king. Across the valley waited Thornfill's army. The two kingdoms faced one another in complete silence. The wind tugged at the banners overhead. Horses snorted uneasily. Armor clinked softly. Every soldier waited for someone to make the first move. Sir Alistair rode up beside Cedric, his armor shining beneath the morning sun. "Ready, sir?" Cedric glanced toward the battlefield ahead. "Always." Then, a war horn echoed across the battlefield. The silence shattered. Battle cries erupted from both armies as they charged forward. Steel clashed against steel. Horses thundered across the earth. Arrows darkened the sky as soldiers fought desperately for their kingdoms. "For Feloria!" Cedric shouted. Valor lunged forward. Across the battlefield, King Maleric urged his own horse ahead, cutting through the chaos until the two kings met. Their swords crashed together, again and again. Neither king was willing to surrender. Cedric forced Maleric backward before Maleric twisted aside, knocking Cedric off balance. Valor reared as both kings were thrown from their horses, continuing the battle on foot. Their blades flashed through the smoke. Cedric stumbled. Maleric seized the opportunity, slamming him to the ground. Before Cedric could recover, the tip of Maleric's sword rested against his throat. Cedric glared up at him. "You've destroyed countless lives for a crown," he said through gritted teeth. Maleric's grip tightened around the hilt of his sword. "A crown?" he repeated, his voice trembling with rage. It was never about the power. His shout echoed across the battlefield. "This!" His chest rose with every furious breath. All of this, his eyes burned with years of grief, was for Aveline? Cedric's expression fell. For the first time, he saw not a king consumed by ambition, but a man consumed by heartbreak. "Maleric, you took her from me." Silence settled between them. Cedric's voice softened. Aveline wouldn't have wanted this. For a brief moment, Maleric froze. Then his expression hardened. "Don't you dare speak her name." His voice dropped to a whisper. "It should have been me." With one swift motion, ... he drove the blade down. Cedric's sword slipped from his hand. The battlefield seemed to freeze. King Cedric of Feloria was dead. A cry rippled through the Felorian army. "The king has fallen!" One by one, the soldiers began retreating, carrying their wounded as despair replaced determination. The battle was over. By sunset, whispers had already reached the castle. King Cedric had not returned, ignoring every order to stay inside. Princess Lyria slipped through the palace gardens and rode toward the border, where the battle had taken place. Smoke still drifted through the air. The battlefield was eerily quiet. Her heart pounded as she searched desperately among the fallen. Then she saw him. Her father lay motionless in the trampled grass. "No." The word escaped her lips in barely more than a whisper. She stumbled forward before stopping behind a nearby tree. Someone was already there. A young man knelt beside Cedric's body. Prince Kai. His shoulders sagged as he stared at the fallen king. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "This wasn't supposed to happen." Lyria's heart raced. She stepped out from behind the tree. "Get away from him!" Kai's head snapped toward her. For a heartbeat, neither of them moved. Tears streamed down Lyria's face as she rushed to her father's side. Collapsing to her knees beside him, Kai slowly stood. The words caught in his throat. There was nothing he could say that would erase what she believed she had seen. He climbed onto his horse. "I didn't know this was what he meant." With one last glance toward the grieving princess, Kai turned and rode back toward Thornfill. Lyria wrapped her arms around her father's lifeless body, sobbing uncontrollably. The world she had known that morning was gone. A gentle hand rested on her back. She looked up through tear-filled eyes. Sir Alistair stood beside her, his own eyes glistening. He was a brave soldier, he said softly, and a good father. He brushed a tear from his cheek before kneeling beside her. Come on, sweetheart. I know it's hard. Lyria couldn't find the strength to answer. Carefully, Alistair lifted her from the ground and placed her atop his horse. Before climbing up behind her, he tied the reins of Lyria's horse Dahlia to his horse. It's going to be all right, he said quietly. She didn't believe him. Lyria buried her face against Alistair's shoulder as tears continued to fall. He gently urged the horse forward. Neither of them spoke. The only sound was the steady rhythm of hooves carrying them away from the battlefield. Behind them, the sun slowly disappeared beneath the horizon. Nothing would ever be the same again.